Hello, Work Shoot Show fans. We are back with another episode, and I am ecstatic. This is, hold on, let me get it for you. Give me 2 seconds. 1, 2. This is episode 27, I believe. Yes, this
so.
episode 27 of the Work Shoot Show. Look, ladies and gents, I'm excited because you'll hear more about this announcement on the Bros Who Think podcast, because I'm going to give a town hall update on this week's Bros Who Think podcast. But we're going to be doing so much more wrestling content now, so just be excited. We have a special guest on this week's episode. We have Brian H. Waters, who was at Survivor Series in the media room covering Survivor Series when CM Punk appeared with the Randy Orton return. So we're going to have firsthand reporting of what happened with him. But as always, me and my guy Pete are here to talk about Full Gear, Survivor Series, and CM Punk and everything going on in the world of wrestling. How you doing, Pete?
Man, I'm doing really good. I was a good week full of wrestling. I got in. I'm a little bit more invested than I used to be.
I'm excited. And I told you
I'm
Triple H is doing everything now, man. You're about to get back into the WWE. I'm pumped.
He might be Booker of the Year, man. I don't know.
I'm excited for our end of the year stuff to talk about it, because literally the Vince pay-per-views in the middle were the worst WWE pay-per-views of the year. The Triple H ones in the beginning and now towards the end have been up to par, ecstatic. But let's do Full Gear first. I know you have our predictions. Let's do our review.
I got it. Oh, man, excuse me. So we had 9 predictions, or 9 matches we did predictions. I think there was 10 or 11 total. But
Yes, sir.
we didn't do predictions for. So we're gonna run through the card based off of the order that I written down on here. So for our results, we both went 5 and 4. So
nice. We did okay.
We had different answers a lot, and it ended up being it was exactly even. So first up we had MJF and his mystery partner, which ended up being Samoa Joe, against the Guns. I had MJF and his mystery partner. You had the Guns. I thought it was like a pretty okay opening match. I think it's the setup, obviously Joe and MJF. I don't know if there's anything I really took away from this match other than it was a pre-show warm-up.
That match was legitimately the match to set up the booking that happened later in the night. I thought if it was about building stars, the Guns should have won. There was no reason MJF should have won that match. And we need to talk, I think next episode, when we discuss what's our segment post the reviews of what's going on in wrestling, we need to talk about the MJF run, because in the beginning it's great. It's kind of getting a little stale now.
And now he's hurt. He has a torn labrum. So
I think this match led to overbooking. I think Full Gear, at least with the championship, had overbooking.
I agree. And just sort of I don't know if he tore his labrum in this match or the Jay White match, but now with this injury, I think more than likely he's probably going to drop the belt.
Because which messes the whole Devil storyline up.
Yeah. So how long does a torn labrum recovery take? Weeks?
I think it's 4 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. So they either have him off TV for 4 to 6 weeks. I think they said that he is going to wrestle Joe
at Full Gear. Yeah. So he might be healthy by then.
So he might be off TV until then. So it'll be interesting to see how significant the injury is and going forward. But I thought this was just an okay, solid warm-up match.
What you giving it out of 5? You got a number?
Like a 2.
Yeah, that's where I was with it.
It was fine.
A solid 2 crutches.
Kangaroo kicks.
Or 2 kangaroo kicks. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't need to be anything. It wasn't supposed to be anything, and it was just fine. The next one up, the AEW Women's World Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm. So happy they gave it to Toni.
Yes, it's the thing we talked about. I think if you had one phrase to describe our last episode, it was pay people who worked hard, give them their just due. And Toni Storm got her just due, because arguably she might be the most interesting women's wrestler in all of wrestling with her storyline with the Timeless angle right now, and she deserved to be champion.
Yep, she's making me eat my words. I've talked about it on this podcast for over a year now. How I like her look, but I don't like her in-ring stuff. I didn't like who she was as her persona, and that has completely changed with Timeless Toni Storm. It's been a fantastic
She
run.
finally has a character. Like, see, some people can be themselves and crank it up to 10 to be a heel or crank it up to 10 to be a babyface. That didn't work for her. She needed to have a character that she could sink her teeth into and actually transform into that. And she's found it.
Yes. Yep. And, give me more her hitting people with shoes, more tit slaps. Like it's all in her repertoire.
Booty bumps. It's all that. And then when she accepted the belt as an Oscar on Dynamite, perfect.
Yeah. She's great. Yeah. This was like, and the match itself was pretty solid itself.
It was.
I'd give it like a 2.5. 2.75, somewhere in that range.
I was going 2.7 Tony Storm Oscars for this. But how do you feel about Sheeta? Because I feel like Sheeta, it sucks. I feel like she's just the AEW transition champion.
She is 100% the transition champion. like everybody has that role. Like she's going to be like, I don't know like exactly what she wants to do, but like she has a role in AEW. Like she's always going to be like
in the main event or around it.
Top. Somebody gets hurt, you could throw the belt right back on or transition to somebody else. So
somebody has to do that role. You're right.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think she's perfectly fine.
For sure. I just had to ask.
Yeah. No, for sure. Next one, we got Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. Oh, and before we both picked Tony Storm to win, so we got that one right. So we both picked Christian the Patriarchy.
And I told you, I was like, Pete, my heart tells me Christian. They should do it because he's earned it and it would make the storyline better. But my head said Sting. And that's what they did. They did Sting's last match in California. Let's give him a dub.
But like
it didn't make sense.
Don't you want to put over people on your way out? Isn't that like the whole thing? Like
that's
I get
the point. Yep.
Yeah. I thought this match was
okay.
Based off like who was in it, I was expecting a little bit more.
Honestly, I could say it was underwhelming because of what you just said. Yeah.
There's a few like the Ric Flair stuff should have been a disqualification. Like this isn't like a no DQ match. Like Ric Flair interfered. There's no call. So I was just like, if you're into like the kayfabe stuff, that should have been a DQ.
It seems like they're just gearing us up for when Ric Flair goes in the ring in Sting's last match, and that's pissing me off.
No, people die.
Like I do not want that. Also, like I just felt like Edge, you left WWE for this. It's like what are you doing?
I mean, if it sets up to him and Christian, like sure,
which we are getting in Montreal, by the way, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
which I'm like, it's not at a pay-per-view, which is weird to me too. That's a whole nother ball.
But like just based off of like some of the other matches that like Darby Allin and Sting had with the Swerve and Christian like casket match, like that was really fun and a spectacle. This one didn't really have anything. Like my favorite moment was like Christian kind of just like leaving them into the ring to defend for themselves.
Yeah, thanks.
Like he's such a scumbag. It's like
my favorite thing was the intro, like literally them walking to the ring with his kids singing.
Yeah, so, normal, like a 2.5.
I'm not even giving it a point. This is another 2 because I expected more.
First real shocker for me, Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley.
I
believe we both picked Mox. I believe I said on the last episode that Mox had like a 99% chance at winning. I thought this was a lock.
I thought it was too.
Lock.
Yeah, it to me this was. I don't know why did you take the belt off of Orange in the first place?
Yep.
That's my question. Why end his run? What does this serve? I get it. You're making him more of a legitimate champion, but if you would have kept the belt on him, that makes him more of a legitimate champion. It literally just overbooking. That's what this is. This is that too. It was a good match, but it just makes no sense. Why
the story doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Facts.
Like, what is this? The Orange is this like his redemption where like he should have never lost it in the first place? It's like
that's not an interesting story. Like
it's not, because like his run was like close to a year.
As it was champ. A good run too.
He lost it to Mox, and then the whole thing was sort of like to have Mox have this run with it, and now it's like back to where we were. It's as if like none of that other stuff happened. So
it's like, why would you end his history for it to like? It just makes the first run. Why would you end it? It makes no sense. Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
But for the match itself, what I expect from Moxley and Orange Cassidy. It was very well done. I think it was just like a solid, clean match. Nothing like super stood out to me other than Orange winning. But I'm gonna give it like a 3.25.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I had it at a 3.3, just a 3.3 orange punches. It was good. It wasn't bad. I just don't like the things on the outside of it.
Ooh, should we save this one for later or?
It's up to you.
Now let's get to it now. Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland.
Match of the night.
Match of the year quality. By far, match of the night.
When we do our awards, this will be, like you just said, match of the year. This is one of the candidates. I'm letting y'all know now for match of the year. It was that damn good.
Top 2 or 3 for me. I gotta go back and forth.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta go rewatch the other matches. I'm not saying it's the match of the year. I'm just saying it's in the groups.
Yeah, maybe it's recency bias, but like that to me, this is the front runner.
I'm not mad at that.
The last time that they fought, they had 2 of my favorite spots of the year, and then they did it again.
Yep.
They did it again.
Best death match I've ever seen, easily.
It's up there.
It's up there for Funk and Foley in Japan for me. That's how good it was.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about some of the spots.
Yeah, let's do it.
Swerve stapling himself, going like bloodlust.
My girlfriend was watching it with me, and when she saw him staple his chest, she was like, "What is wrong with him, bro? What is wrong with him?"
Unreal. Drinking the blood spot was with Adam Page was just wild.
Nuts. Or when a Page just staples his face the first time with the note on it, I'm like, what the hell? And the fact that he got to tie him up, I was like, oh, this they're going there with this. They're really going there. And it wasn't just violent either. There were great wrestling spots too.
Yes. I'm gonna get the violence out of the way first.
Oh, go ahead.
I've always said it in death matches that Mox did earlier this year when he used the brick, that we need more brick spots, but this time we got a cinder block spot, which was so good. Oh my God. People, they need to use cinder block, even just like those blow away cinder blocks, because like it hit Page and it looked like it just like exploded like confetti, where it's like obviously it's not a real cinder block, but I thought the effect of it was just so in your face and extra. I was like, yes, that's what I want from a cinder block spot. And then the spot for me is his name is Hangman. How did Swerve beat him?
Hangman!
He hung the Hangman. It's just is just chef's kiss. Swerve Strickland has been my favorite wrestler in AEW for like 6 months, and this just solidified it.
That was perfect Western. Like that is a West. Like that's a trope in Westerns that I love. And as someone who's a fan of like neo-Westerns and sci-fi Western, even classic ones, to hang the Hangman, that is just, it's perfect. And then the spot, there was one spot that you didn't mention that just got me, because my girlfriend was like, she's seen me watch some of these matches before, and she thought she saw me watch the one with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven where they put out the bag of Legos and they were stepping on the Legos. When they put out the bag of real glass and put that on Hangman's back, and Swerve did that multiple flip splash onto the actual glass, I was like, that shit was crazy, man.
And I also the Swerve,
and the drinking the blood. I know you said it, but I just gotta mention it again. That
was nuts. But Swerve also, the promo he cut after the match was
brilliant.
Good. Dude, Swerve is on another
He
level
needs
right
to
now.
be the first AEW African-American champion. He needs to be champion. I know, and not to spoil what me and Brian Waters talk about, I know Brian Waters is on Christian being champion right now, Swerve being long time, but if you're going to make MJF drop the belt, it's like, I understand the Christian thing, but to me, Swerve is the guy. Like, Swerve has to be your guy. And then at your big pay-per-view, because the thing is, I feel like at All In, it's Ospreay. Ospreay is winning the championship. I feel like he's coming in to win the championship. Give Swerve a run, and then let Ospreay take it off of him at All In.
Or honestly, I think Swerve would be. I'd be perfectly fine with Swerve beating
Osprey.
Orange. No, beating Orange
Oh,
Cassidy
Orange
for
for the
that belt.
international.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be perfectly fine with Swerve
or
holding
let
that
him
belt right
take the
now.
TNT because and let Christian go on to the if you want Christian to an edge to fight for the AEW championship before Osprey gets here, then
Ooh.
you could have Swerve take it off of him. Osprey win it all in, and then Swerve be like, this guy just comes in. He's about to enter whose house? Swerve's house. And boom, Swerve versus Osprey, where at the end of the year, Swerve takes it off of Osprey. I could be down with that. It's just, but you notice what we haven't said MJF anywhere in any of this. It's like, where does he fit in? He's kind of holding up the championship in a different way.
A different way for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, for this match, easy 5 stars, match of the night, match of the year quality. Yeah, Swerve's the GOAT.
Yeah,
it's
going.
House.
I'm pulling. I'm blanking on his name. Dave Meltzer, where he goes over 5. This is 5.5 Nana dances.
I did see Dave Meltzer did give this a 5-star match.
As he should. I know he doesn't like death matches, but come on, man. Like this transcended death matches, in my opinion.
It was really, really good. Next up, the Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks. This is similar to me with the Sting and Darby Allin Christian Cage match, where I was a little underwhelmed by the amount of talent that was in this match. I don't know if I'm just kind of getting sick of like them using the same spots over and over again, but I mean, it's what I expected in terms of in-ring stuff, but nothing like wowed me to the point where I'm like, oh, this was what I don't know. It's when you have like this talent in the ring, I'm expecting it's like if Okada's in the ring, minimum 4 stars. If I have Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, minimum 4 stars.
I'm telling you, man, Jericho
like
just needs to retire, bro. Like that, we're getting to the point to where he's messing up matches. Like and there's nothing wrong with being old in wrestling, but I just think at some point you got to know when to say enough's enough. Maybe I shouldn't be in these top tier matches. Maybe I should be putting over young talent.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you give that a 3?
Like a 3. I suppose with Jericho, like when he was running the Jericho Appreciation Society, like he was the focal point, but like he wasn't. I feel like he wasn't at the helm in matches, but he was in the helm in the ring with the mic, and that's where he stood out. And I think he does. I think him being in tags is better for him right now because of his age and like how much he can go. So if he can give me 8 to 10 minutes in a ring with a tag match, then that's what I'm looking for. But yeah,
that's fair.
It was just a fine, good match from like really good wrestlers. But
I'm giving it a 3.
I was expecting.
I can't give Kenny and the Bucks anything under a 3. But it's just like I feel like it could have been better.
Yep, and we both picked the Jets on that one, so we both got that right. Next, the one up, Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Sky Blue. We both picked Julia Hart to win, and she did.
Beautiful.
I also found this out that Julia Hart's from Minnesota, so now she's my favorite AEW wrestler. I had no idea, so shout out to my girl now. She's my girl. I like this match a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
It was really fun. Chris Statlander coming out in the Global Gym from Dodgeball.
That was beautiful. I'm loving Statlander, man. Like
he always has great outfits for wrestling.
I think now you move her to get ready to take on Tony for the actual AEW championship. Yeah,
she 100% should be the next challenger.
Man, Kyle Fletcher, you're a lucky man because boy, Sky Blue is beautiful. Holy shit. Yeah. I know we don't talk about looks often on this show. That's not us. That's not our thing. There's wrestling podcasters that do that. We don't like to really sexualize men or women, but like, man, Sky Blue is beautiful. I just got to say that. Like, she is gorgeous.
Yeah. Yep. Sky Blue. I mean, she's an up and coming star for sure.
And she's a great wrestler too, on top of it.
Solid wrestler. I think we both predicted that
Julia would pin her.
Julia would pin her, and that way it doesn't make Chris look weak or anything, and that's what happened. Solid, great match. I should say great, just solid match. 3.25.
I'm with you. 3.2 for me as well. 3.2 Julia's hats. I love those hats, man.
Love that. Next one with the 4-way tag: Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Fusion Ingobernables, FTR versus FTR versus Malachi Black and Brody.
Hey, shout out to my guy. I'm glad we got this one right. Shout out to my guy, Ricky Starks and Big Bill getting it, because Big Bill's press conference.
Right. I got it wrong. I picked FTR.
Hey, I'm glad I went with them, because Big Bill's press conference really showed to me why that dude fought through a lot, fought through addiction to overcome this. And he's a great wrestler, a great on the mic. I'm glad he's with Ricky. It's literally Enzo and Cass, but a better situation for Big Bill, because Ricky's not as reckless as Enzo. Ricky's not going to do anything to jeopardize them. He knows that Ricky will go far enough to get attention, and he's a good enough wrestler, better than Enzo, in my opinion. This is a great tag team, so I'm glad they won.
Yep. I'm a little surprised that they won, just because of how many teams that were included.
I think they didn't want FTR to take the L to the Jets, which I feel like you can make Ricky and Big Bill take the L because they're not a real tag team.
That's true.
Where everyone else is a real tag team.
That's a good point. But then, like, I guess maybe maybe it'd be like too transitional if they gave it to like Roosh.
Exactly. And that in Preston
Drolistico or
no, it was Drolistico. It wasn't Preston.
So like maybe that's like too transitional.
Too on the nose. And House of Black's a real faction. You don't want to weaken House of Black. Besides, Malachi wants to leave already.
Oh really?
Oh no, that's just me joking. That
Triple H maybe I don't know. His wife's in WWE. Maybe he wants to go back with Triple H is there. Like
it just seems like Tony's not using certain guys the way they want to be used, and Malachi is one of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were such a great trios champ. So I don't know if they want to go back to that, but like I really liked House of Black as a trios. Did anything like stick out to you this match? I think for the most part, like fine, but like
I think it was just a good ladder match. I don't think there's no particular spot that just blew me away. Like I'm at a 3 with this. I don't think it was a bad ladder match, but I don't think it was above a 3.
Yeah, I think I'm in that 3 range as well. I don't know if it's just because for me overall, I thought the card was like fine, but like having that Swerve match stick out to me, it's just like everything else just pales in comparison to that match. And I don't think it's at fault to any of the other matches, but it's just like that's a generational match that we saw. Like people will study that match like they did with Funk and Foley. Like that's the quality that match was. So it's like when you have a card like this and you have a match like that,
it overshadows everything.
It overshadows everything.
You know what it's like? It's like Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge, and Christian TLC, the first one that revolutionized the game. It's
just like I'm still thinking about that match.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's the match that's in my head. That's been in my head, and we've watched 3 other wrestling shows between SmackDown, Raw, and Survivor Series shit.
It's just like, you know, like when you were getting into wrestling, I'd like send you like videos for like
Okada,
Kenny and stuff like that. It's like if people are fine with like blood and whatever, like this is a match I will be sending to people. That's literally how good it was.
When I was getting back into wrestling, I would ask Pete would just send me a bunch of clips from non-WWE people to get me into that side, and I know this would be a match you would send, because it's a match I would send to somebody. It's that damn good. But the Ricky Starks, it was average.
Yep, yeah, but like 2.5 to 3 stars for me in that range. Last match of the night, MJF versus Jay White. They are cowards. They should have put it on Jay White.
I think
Bang Bang Gang.
And again, not to jump when me and Brian talked about, but I want to ask you this.
Yep.
I feel like Ospreay was supposed to go to AEW, but I feel like Jay White would have been better in WWE.
I think I said that on the pod where
I didn't know if you did or not.
Because WWE, like, for as much as or how good of a wrestler Jay White is,
he's a better entertainer.
His physique is insane, and that is a huge selling point for WWE. And now that we're getting away from the Vince era, where like it's always just big, juicy dudes, your Bobby Lashley's, your Brock Lesnar's, your Roman Reigns, like where these dudes are always the pinnacle. It's moving away from that. I mean, even though like Cody Rhodes is like jacked and like, don't get me wrong or anything like that,
but he's like, not Roman or Brock.
He's not 285. He's 240. maybe something like
and
that.
It's about mic work and in-ring ability. And with the Triple H thing, Jay White could have been Triple H's Conor McGregor. Like, that's the one I feel like Triple H is really upset he didn't get, because I felt that Jay White could have been the heel that WWE needed in a post-Roman Reigns world. Before Grayson Waller's ready. I feel like in a post-Roman Reigns world, Grayson Waller is going to be a future heel that the company relies on, but I don't think he's ready yet, and you could have had Jay White in that position as the Conor McGregor of WWE.
But this is how I compare it. When Finn Balor main rostered, his thing was he looked really fucking cool with the jacket, and he had a dope entrance, and that's what people got interested in. And then you found out in the ring he was pretty solid. Jay White has the effect of the same thing. He comes out and is all leather. He's got the 8-pack showing. He's cutting people with his switchblade,
like, and they're letting him do the Bullet Club stuff. You could have had Finn, Jay, and fucking AJ battle it out. You could have threw Cody in there. There was so much for Jay White. Instead, now he is losing to MJF. I don't know if when he gets another title shot. I don't know. Like, I just feel like now he is a mid-carder in AEW, which is trash.
It's trash because this is my just absolute personal opinion. The two things I look forward to watching AEW: Swerve Strickland and the Bang Bang Gang. While AEW prioritizes, I think, like the wrestlers and the in-ring work, it's still an entertainment factor. The Bang Bang Gang is doing better than anybody on the roster. If you give them belts, if you give them gold, it solidifies them as the threat. If you have him, not only did the Guns lose,
Jay lost,
and Juice wasn't there. I mean, so
now the Bang Bang Gang is just flat, and it's like they lost everything they built up these past couple months. Don't matter now.
And like MJF
is hurt.
He's hurt. He's banged up from the previous match, and losing to somebody like Jay White isn't bad.
It helps him because he's a babyface now.
And like, he can come back when he's healthy. He can take it off of Jay White again.
You could have had him. You could have had him take it off of Jay White at World's End. You just needed him to lose at some point to make it fresh and interesting. Now it's like he loses to Samoa Joe. Well, that's telegraphed now. If he does lose,
and he still when Adam Cole comes back. Him and Cole still hold the tag
teams.
They can still be entertaining and hold gold. And I don't think it's a negative on either of them. I'm trying to look back to see some of the other matches that like MJF had were like, for as much as I love MJF, I think this run is just too much. And then if he is hurt and you're going to drop it, I don't want it to be the Samoa Joe. I want it to be the Jay White.
It should have been. This would have been the perfect time to end his run. And I think if you ended at Jay White, it caps off, and we're not talking about did the run get bleh? Did the run get meh? We're more so talking about, man, his match with Adam Cole, man, his match with Bryan Danielson, man, his match with this. And if you really want me to be ultimately honest, Adam Cole should have stabbed him in the back at All In, and he should have lost it then. And then transition to the babyface. But I just feel like it's bleh now. In a different way than Roman Reigns.
Yep, 100% in a different way. It's just so many things. When it feels like Tony Khan is too afraid to pivot.
Yep,
because when
he doesn't want to lose him in 2024.
When Phoenix won the international
belt.
And I was like, okay, cool. This wasn't supposed to happen, but this is unique. We can do something different than what I expect from AEW, and then nothing transpired from that. Phoenix lost it in like 2 weeks.
And I hate to say it, in terms of wrestling, it's some of the best in ring.
Yeah.
But they're turning into WCW a little bit.
They're turning into it's the same thing with WWE. It's turning into, I'm going to do this also with, if people are known for like their anime watching too, with like battle action shonen. You know what's going to happen in the storyline.
Yep.
When it gets cliche and cookie cutter, it gets boring.
Yep.
When you pivot, when you have the opportunity to be something different, then that's what makes you stand out. That's what makes you legendary.
They're being too much WWE right now.
That's what gets you your One Piece, your Hunter Hunters, your Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhoods and stuff like that.
Don't do Triple H because Triple H does Triple H the best. Do
exactly.
You.
It's like we're falling into this pattern, I feel like, where it's the beauty of AEW before was it wasn't cliche. It was unexpected.
It was wrestling in a sports form.
Yes, and now it's like, now I feel like Tony Khan has a meta, the script that he is following, and I know what it is, and I'm losing interest. I'm like, especially when it's the top belt. That's what the focal point of your company is, and I just wish they would continue to be what got them to this point, was being revolutionary and experimental and going
and
off
giving
the
other
script.
Guys their chance, like not sticking with one person in the WWE form and having them hog tie you down. And it's like, give us Swerve, give us. There's so many people we've named that deserve a shot, but because it's MJF, we don't know if they'll ever get a shot. And it's like, you signed Jay White, a guy who before and I say this a little later, I think of the Forbidden Door match when you had Jay White versus Okada, Adam Cole, and Page. He was the top wrestler in the world at that moment because no one could touch him on the mic, in the ring. He was killing. And now you bring him here and he's not even important. It's like, after he showed why he should be important, because when CM Punk left Collision, they carried Collision on their backs. The Bang Bang Gang and Ricky Starks, and neither one of them are getting the love that they deserve. Granted, Starks has the tag team belt, but the Bang Bang Gang isn't getting the love that they deserve, and it's a shame.
The Bang Bang Gang got over a cardboard cutout of Jay White. Like, this is only a little bit of what I think that they can do.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
I think we got a little off topic with.
No, but I had to ask you.
No, for sure. It's just something
because it's more important to talk about than the match, because the match was okay. It wasn't.
Yeah.
The problem is the Swerve match was so damn good that everything that happened after, if it wasn't like as good, it just felt short. It felt short.
Yeah.
And they overbooked that in the beginning to even start.
If I tune in on Wednesday, as much as I love MJF, he's gonna cut the same promo. How about he cuts a promo when he loses, when he's defeated, when he's hurt, when he's
so we can hear something new.
That's new fresh and different from him, but it's going to be the same. And
we're getting babyface. You know how heel MJF it was go to a city, rag on sports teams, then do this. Babyface MJF is getting formulaic too, which is crazy.
We're just in like a weird spot where I think I've wanted MJF to lose his belt for like 3 months now.
Yep. And like I said, if I really want to be honest, he should have lost it at All In.
And you know what? And if I'm a rant too, if Samoa Joe is the new champ, because for as much as I like Joe as a wrestler, as a person, he doesn't need it. He shouldn't have it. It should be on somebody else. And Samoa Joe's not a draw like he used to be.
I couldn't agree more. What would you rate the match out of 5?
I was gonna say I did like the ring, like the actual ring work that they used in this match. I thought that was fun storytelling, but I don't know. MJF fought a match earlier. He was a little beat up. The setting up with the Samoa Joe thing, it was a little telegraphed. I just really wish it was Jay White's turn. He's the former NW, New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
If you're New Japan, I'd be kind of pissed at AEW, but that's a conversation we can have on another day, because that's a whole another ball of eggs. I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna be honest. I'm giving it a 2.9. I'm giving it a
3.25.
I'm not mad at that. We're in the same ballpark essentially. So, all right, that's our thoughts on Full Gear right now. Just because me and Brian Waters talk Survivor Series, let's get into the interview now. When we come back, me and Pete will cover WWE and give our thoughts on it. So let's jump into that interview right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Work Shoot Show. Yes, I am ecstatic. So you'll hear a segment of this show with me and Pete discussing, Full Gear, discussing everything that we needed to discuss, Survivor Series, everything. But I had to bring in a special guest. I had to. It's been too long since me and him talked. And like I said on Bros Who Think, if you haven't heard, I'm really diving back into the podcasting hard. And to start it off, I'm going to be bringing this guy and probably his other brothers on this pod a lot more now. But we got my guy, host of the Wrestling Ram, producer at the Ringer Wrestling Show, the Masked Man Show. We got my brother Brian H. Waters in the building. It's been too long, brother.
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
Feeling really relieved, like a weight's off my shoulders, and excited. Okay. I feel excited. That's what it is.
There you go, man. Look, it be like that sometimes. I'm glad. I missed you, man. So I'm glad
I miss you too, bro.
I think some things happened in wrestling. I think.
Yes, sir. A lot has happened. So, holy crap! Survivor Series has happened. Randy Orton is back, but also CM Punk is in WWE. So you were at Survivor Series. You were there. I talked to you. I said, enjoy yourself. I didn't want to dive too deep in asking you what you thought. I just wanted to say, hey, brother, can't wait to have you back on the show. Enjoy yourself. We're going to talk soon. How was that? How was Survivor Series? Because first off, the women's match, A+. Yes. That might have been the best match of the night. Like, real shit. That match was incredible. It was like the men's was great, but that match was insane. Then you get Gunther Miz, bringing Miz back to his peak form. However people feel about Dragon Lee and Santos, it did what it needed to do. Put Santos over as a heel, get him to the next part. And then we had the men's match. And then you have Randy. And then you end with CM Punk. What was it like being in the building? Tell the people.
Man, so, I think, when you text me, I had just landed in Chicago. I was actually in the Uber on the way to the hotel. So I know, it was definitely a temperature drastic change. And, being in the building, man, first time in the All-State Arena, it was lit. The beginning of the show, before the show started, because I got there probably about 6 o'clock, 6:30 local time. Show started 7. Before the show started, the chants had started. CM Punk.
Yo, can I tell you something real quick? Just so you know how it was on my end. So on my end, I'm thinking the whole time I'm listening to the show, gotta say Triple H is a brilliant producer. I'm thinking I'm hearing CM Punk chants B, but then they pipe in noise. So it's like they pipe in noise. So I think I'm hearing CM Punk, but I'm hearing something else, whatever they pipe in. And I went to Twitter to check, hey, are they chanting CM Punk? And it was like, yes. I was like, holy crap, they're really trying to cover this up right now. At that moment, I was like, is he coming or are they saving the show? That was the first time, because before I didn't buy into the CM Punk coming back to WWE, and I needed Triple H to show me this moment so I would know 100% this is him and Nick Khan's show. Like, and I was like, I gotta see before I believe. So I didn't buy into none of it. But at that moment, that was the first moment I was like, whoa, this is either happening or they're stopping him from hijacking the show. One of the two. So back to you.
So when it happened, I said, because I said weeks ago on the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, I said, if the WWE brings back CM Punk, this is Triple H's opportunity to have his Vince McMahon, Bruno Sammartino moment. Yep. Vince McMahon, Ultimate Warrior moment. And
Vince McMahon, Bret Hart moment.
Yeah. But I'll say this, the difference between Bret, that was one-sided, if we be honest.
True.
Vince was more remorseful because he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, he had to do that.
If we being real with the part people don't realize, if he had to do it, he would have did Deshaun first. Bret was everything, because Bret allowed Vince to sleep at night. Yep. He didn't have to worry about Bret getting beat up in Syracuse. You know what I mean? So
he was the perfect champion.
He was and Bruce Pritchard said this, all those lists that Shawn Michaels is number 1 on, if Bret don't go to Montreal, it's probably Bret Hart. So, and then he didn't take him to court. Well, he didn't testify him in court.
Yep, he didn't.
Like the Hogan stuff.
My question to you is, because now that we got free reign to just go ham, it's Work Shoot Show. Let me ask you, do you feel that Bret had to, like, I get what Bruce Pritchard's saying, but why didn't Vince keep him as a champ? Was it that the money was too much that was offered to him at WCW? Like, the 10-year, did he not want to honor that? Like, if he was the perfect champion, why did he have to make that choice? I guess I would ask you.
Lyn, let me be honest with you. You caught me at the right time, because if you'd asked me this question last year, I wouldn't have wanted to answer it because I've said this. I got a PhD in a Montreal screw job. Thanks to David Shoemaker, when we produced the Book of Wrestling podcast,
Yes, sir.
I went down the Montreal screw job rabbit hole from watching interviews, watching almost every shoot interview, listening to so many different podcasts.
I know you watched that doc following Brett, which is
Dark
crazy
Side
that
of the
that
Ring,
happened. Yeah.
Wrestling with the Shadows, reading Brett's book. Vince McMahon, and I hate to have to say this, Vince McMahon did what he had to do because he did not want WCW even mentioning the fact we just signed their world champion.
Got you.
It wasn't about, as much as we thought, Brett was not taking that belt over there. Brett
hell no. He loved the business.
Yeah, he respected the business too much. He loved it. If anything, you do a one-day contract, but that wasn't heard of back then. So he was, WWE was going, the money hadn't caught up with the product yet because the product was getting better, but everybody was still focused on the NWO. That's where all the money was going.
Yep.
Mike Tyson coming over caused that shift.
Caused the change, Mike Tyson and Stone Cold, honestly.
Yeah, but Austin was already there, remember?
True.
And Austin was up next.
True.
But that Tyson put them in the mainstream.
Facts.
And Austin capitalized.
Yeah, I think that's the better way to say it. Tyson, like you said, gave them the ESPN looks. Austin was the character to pick the ball up that Tyson put at the thing and dunked it through the
bingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Bingo. And so did Vince have to do it? It could have been other ways around it. Taker has gone on record said he could have fixed it, but we've never been in that situation.
True, yeah.
So that's what made his different. Because Vince didn't want to do it. You've
been in locker rooms, so you know how that is firsthand. Like,
yeah,
you don't want your championship belt by the people that's beat. Like, honestly, if that happens, we might be in a WCW world or a AEW. Like, we might not be in a WWE world.
If that happens, wrestling would have been that thing that used to come on TV.
Oh,
remember Slam Ball?
Yeah,
it would have been like
you think it collapses completely?
Mainstream wise, yes. Because here's why. If that happens, WWE go under business. Vince McMahon would have tried again. We know that. We've seen it with the XFL.
Facts.
But for at least there would have been a period of time when after WCW would have kept running things in a hole, right? Because think about this. All right, let's just fantasy book real quick. And we're going to get into the Punk stuff. Fantasy book this. We're gonna take 6 top stars at wrestling.
Oh yeah, this is why I brought you up. This is why I'm excited because we can have those free reign conversations again.
So let's take Undertaker. Let's take Stone Cold.
Yep.
The Rock. Mind you, these are young, right? Bret Hart for the sake of this conversation. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, right?
That's the 6-man. Got you.
Yeah, and let's put them in WCW. With the politics going on, they're not getting past Hogan, Savage, Hall, Nash. Goldberg hadn't even come up yet.
Maybe Triple H and Shawn get in the NWO, probably.
Oh, they get in NWO, but they're asterisks.
Yeah,
they're
facts,
behind,
facts.
You might have the Wolfpack or some sort of NWO created.
Happened earlier.
Click. Yeah, but Hall and Nash, remember, they got the money. They got, what is it? I forgot.
Guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, but what was I want to say, it was like gentleman's clause or something where they would get paid more.
They got not only, you're right, the gentleman's clause, and they had creative control of the contracts. Yep.
Exactly. So now, and then Hogan had creative control. So, and Hogan we saw what they did with Bret Hart. Imagine what they would have did with all those other guys. Remember, they didn't see Stone Cold as a star before. So you take all of that, WCW would have, even when they would have making money, the executives didn't want it. I read the Nitro book by Guy Evans. I listened to it last year around this time. And you listen to the executives, they didn't want WCW. So what happens is, once AOL does that merger that eventually was coming, that's it.
Facts.
So now WCW's gone. You get TNA, but that's on pay-per-view. So all of that's going to happen. And maybe Vince comes back, but that's the reason why that, as much as I hate to admit it, it saved the business.
Facts,
you know what I
facts.
mean? So now, we fast forward. Triple H, him and Punk, reports say had an hour-long conversation. Now, I'm going to take you to Chicago. I'm sitting there. We see Randy Orton's not coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to be straight up. I was like, Lord, please let CM Punk come. I just want to be here. Just said it. That's it, right? So Rhea comes out there and everybody's going crazy. Because I predicted last week we was getting the cash in.
Mm-hmm.
And
you did. I watched y'all's episode. I texted you. I literally, the day of, because we didn't put out a pod, I wrote, I literally was like, I'm watching their thing to see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. And I said, all right, you know what? So that didn't happen. Then you hear the voices. And that's when I was like, okay, so Randy is here. So the match happens, good guys up. Cody Rhodes. As soon as the 1, 2, 3 like crossroads, 1, 2, 3, boom. Adrenaline in my soul. They like, come on, y'all, let's go to the back.
Oh, so they told the media, let's go to the back.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
As soon as the three count.
Okay.
Even with a SummerSlam, they brought us to like the doorway, and we kind of got to wait to see Roman kind of celebrate, right? With WrestleMania, well, to be honest with you, the security at SoFi was acting crazy, so they wasn't even trying to let us back. So we had to go get other people. So we saw all the room. Like I'm sitting there watching Samantha Irvin call for her daughter, so she could,
So do you think this was deliberate, or is this just status quo?
Well, status quo is we go to the back because even with Roman and when Sammy hit Roman with the chair,
y'all saw that in the back.
We saw that. We was just talking about it, right? We get to the back, everybody's sitting there, man. What a night, man. What if something else happened, right? Yeah, he's like, man. Last time when Sammy did this, we was in the back, boom, and I looked on the ground next to me. So if y'all see the press conference, I'm all the way to the right.
Yep.
And I look down. Okay, they got it on the monitor. And I said, Punk is here. So I tapped Queen PR. I was like, hey, Punk is here. She's like, what? And then somebody else heard me. And you know how like you don't want to yell because you don't want to be wrong? And I'm thinking my eyes playing tricks on me. And sure enough, everybody started coming over to the screen. And they was like, oh, Brian H. Ward just broke this. And even the WWE staff members were like, what? That's how tight-lipped it was.
That's amazing.
And, it's like, of course, you want to be in the crowd, but like I was talking to Alex, Queen of the Ring, and she said, it was either her or Ella J, and she said it would have been nice to be in the crowd, but we'll never forget this moment of us being here and watching it. And I mean, it was amazing. My friend Ciendor, she wasn't in the press room with us, and she was seated above the pods.
Oh,
so
shit.
She saw it, and here's one for you. She said after that happened, she saw AJ Lee, and then she watched them take AJ Lee out. Like she walked with some security, but it was an incredible moment. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of hoping he was at the presser, but he wasn't. And Triple H talked about it. He said that.
I get when I was watching it, I get why he wasn't.
Yeah, 1,000%. But
so,
it was.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was an incredible experience. To me, you take away that moment. Survivor Series is still an all-time classic.
Oh yeah, it's still an A, one of the best of the year.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's my second favorite that I went to this year.
Okay,
I had to rank them. And it's not by a landslide, but it's WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and I enjoyed all of them. But it was just this one. What made it special was one of the matches. I felt like every match delivered, and then that Punk was like. It was an exclamation mark.
Oh, the sprinkles on the ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like, oh, we're going to go to war because sometimes like for the past few years, WWE would give you a little bit, but then they wouldn't want one moment to overshadow the other. So when I see people on Twitter say, oh, Punk overshadowed Randy, I'm like, y'all don't remember the Attitude Era when they would literally give us car crash after car crash. straight through. Straight through. So it was enjoyable, and I just thought it was phenomenal, man.
And to your point, now we can dive into some things that I've been waiting to talk to you about. I definitely think they go on to war, especially when you look at what happened with CM Punk said at the end of Monday, in the Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was him, and I love how Triple H did it. And you could tell Triple H is 100% in control. It's brilliant. Have Punk come out apologetic. Have him come out, I've changed, because whether or not people know AEW, WWE has to assume they do. Because you have Cody, because you have Jade, we have to assume that AEW is a real thing. They mentioned Chris Jericho. We're now not going to not acknowledge them how in the Vince McMahon era we probably wouldn't have acknowledged them. So by having him come out apologetic, preach to the WWE universe, but at the end say, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That's not only a shot at Seth for what they're building for WrestleMania, that's a shot across the bow.
Yep.
And I think it's like, okay, they're going to war now. And with Monday Night Raw not potentially being on USA and maybe not on Monday nights anymore, we could see the Wednesday wars coming soon.
Ooh. But you know, and the thing is, people say it's not a war because it's not like before, right? So I was watching this clip with Kevin Garnett, and he talked about why he was mad at Ray Allen. And he said, like, when Ray Allen went to Miami, they was on some, like, we don't like them.
We don't like, it was some super beef.
Yeah, and the executives in WWE was like that. You know, obviously the boys and the girls are the girls and boys. You know, they friends. But when I look at this, if Tony Khan, and I always say, if he just kept his mouth shut, start believing his own hype, start getting too excited, like, bro, you got to chill. Because do you not realize that the era that he loved so much was ran by Triple H? Triple H is a master troll. When CM Punk was going at it back and forth, CM Punk struggled. Like Triple H was time in the form, as the people would say.
Yep.
So you go against him on the mic, you better come correct. And that's the thing. So when I look at everything and I'm thinking, they don't want that smoke.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And now you look at the WWE roster. You got Randy Orton, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. You can make an argument. Needle movers, right? Then on the women's side, you got Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Trish Stratus in your back pocket, Becky Lynch, Bayley.
Oh, you got to mention my man Cody Rhodes. Don't do that, Brian. Don't do that, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Cody is cooking more. He is cooking with a fresh pot of grease better than he ever did before.
I got a thing for you. And I think I can say it now because of what I just saw at Survivor Series, the pay-per-view.
I think I know where you're going.
I'm glad he lost WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think he was going there.
I can finally say it because for months, I said on my show, on the radio, on Twitter, everywhere, Brian H., I don't know if he was right. Brian H., I don't know if he was right. Brian H., I don't know if he was right. But that pay-per-view post-game, it was the post-game presser that tied everything for me. He might be the best wrestler in the world. For me, as everything, total package. He's the best babyface for sure in the world. I don't think that's a doubt. But when I say best wrestler, I'm not talking just in-ring. Because obviously there's Ospreay, there's Omega. But when you look at the total package, the promos, the press conference, the interviews, the way Cody conducts himself.
I was going to say that, yep.
You see where MJF got it from. MJF is doing Cody Rhodes, essentially. Like, I figured it out from seeing that press conference. He took all the sauce Cody gave him and just was using it. The way he conducted himself, Brian, from the joke of Triple H to the way he talked about CM Punk, especially after the Seth Rollins thing gets released, the way he just talked everything about that press conference, was like, this guy's the face of WWE. Or at least he's positioning himself to be if they push the button at WrestleMania 40. And I know you're going to want Roman to continue. I know. But if they push the button, that look Randy Orton gave him when Cody lifted his hand was like, little homie, I lift your hand. You don't lift mine. And I think they're building to, if they push the button, his first title defense is against the Viper, Randy Orton.
But what if Randy cost him the match?
That could be the other way.
What if Randy cost him the match? Because look, remember, it took Dusty, he had to go at a couple times.
Some hard. So you want more, you want hard times again. I'm assuming you want it to go till September, and then Cody can beat him in September. So after September.
Here's the thing. I said this. Book WrestleMania. We don't know where WrestleMania 41 is going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Put that bad boy in Atlanta, Georgia. They need to redo that city. Did we not? WrestleMania 27 was known for Snooki and The Miz.
You're right.
They need to, and Undertaker and Triple H, but redo that city.
Let Cody win in his hometown.
You give Cody the homecoming of a lifetime.
Only reason why I could get down with what you're saying is because Triple H back booking, so he could make feuds until that time. If it doesn't if it happens your way, I'm cool with it because that would be hard. If it happens my way, I'm cool with it. But I can finally say you were right that he needed to lose 40 because I watched this documentary again before Survivor Series. Okay. And it's the hard times thing is so real. It's like, it's the long road. And I think he wants the long road to where a year, maybe even a year and a half, SummerSlam, like to your point, he could cost it SummerSlam or even to what you're saying, to the next WrestleMania, whatever happens, he took the long road. And I think it'll be worth it because when they do push the button and he gets the accomplishment over Roman Reigns, quote unquote, the GOAT, and Roman goes to acting, I think it's perfect because he's ready to be the quarterback and he positions.
Remember this: blood is thicker than water, right? Usos 1-on-1 against each other, night one. Jimmy goes up. Jay comes home.
Night two.
Jay comes home night two and calls Cody.
All
back together.
Look. I ain't mad at it if it goes that way. But let me pitch you this one thing. And then we're going to talk about some of the matches for people that want it. I would have agreed with you if the strike kept going. I think the acting strike might stop that. Because you get Roman to Hollywood. I think the Hollywood thing is real.
Yeah, everybody booking Roman for Hollywood, but guess what? The way he can hold that title and still go there. And then you also got to remember, if the goosebumps are real and the feeling that you can't get on a movie set, Big Dwayne coming.
We gonna see. The strike hurt that one. I'm gonna say that the strike definitely hurt that one. The Roman thing is a toss up, but the Rock about to be Maui from Moana, my brother. He already said that's his goal right now is to be Maui. So like. The strike hurt y'all.
Never trust anybody who loves the wrestling business.
Fair enough. Now let's talk about some of the matches. Like I said earlier, I think the women's match, arguably the best match of the night. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I loved it. I told Shoemaker and Kaz my favorite moment there watching was Io Sky because I saw her trash can up because the Dakota ain't strong enough to throw it up. And when she like slowly put it over her head and jump, I'm like,
bro, I didn't know what was gonna happen. At first I thought she was gonna kick it. Then I thought she was gonna like jump in it and like Brian. I don't know why I thought she was gonna pull it down, jump in, and then fall on him. But the way she did it was perfect. To me, what I thought was amazing was Bayley. The moments from saving Kairi Sane to the end. Bayley worked her ass off, man. Like MVP of the match. She sold everything so perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the storylines within the stories because I can't wait for Friday.
Yeah,
what's gonna happen?
Do you think they separate? Because that's what a lot of people have been predicting.
Bayley either Bayley or Dakota. One of them ladies is getting kicked
out.
But Bayley. She missing her wrestling soulmate.
And with Triple H in charge, look, Tony might have messed up. Tony might have let the moment slip, to your point.
It's one of those things. Go out and have your fun. Go out and enjoy it. taste it. Go wrestle somewhere else. You always know where home is.
Yep, exactly. And I think ever since Triple H lost Jay White, because I don't know if he wanted Ospreay like that. I think he wanted Jay White. And
okay.
I think Jay White was the one he was mad about. And then
let me ask you, did Jay White make a mistake?
I think he did. And you know I'm an AEW guy. You know I like AEW. But I think he did. And WWE won me over when Triple H started booking. I went back to AEW when Vince was back in, when you could tell the Vince decisions were there. And now I'm back to WWE fully because Triple H is cooking again. And I think that Jay White, if he would have went to WWE, would have been the Conor McGregor of wrestling. Ooh. And I don't think they putting him in that position at AEW, because to me, when I saw what he did when he came over from New Japan and beat Adam Page, Adam Cole, and Okada, that showed me this man is one of the best trash talkers on the mic and can be the Conor McGregor of WWE. And I thought if Triple H would have got him, when Cody gets the belt, he's the perfect heel to take it from him. I thought he could have been this badass, and now he's just another piece at AEW.
Bingo.
And honestly, the MJF run, we're going to have a real conversation about it soon enough. Honestly, bro. Because like I said, I love AEW, but there's people there that I think should be getting a push. And MJF, his reign of terror is just killing people's runs.
Not even believable no more.
That's the thing. It's like it's crazy. But let's focus on WWE because that's why I got you here. But but I'm glad you asked me that because I had to be honest with myself. I definitely think Jay White made a mistake. I don't think Will Ospreay made a mistake, and let me tell you why, just real quick. Because Tony's gonna push him.
Yeah.
Jay White was just a P in like a toy to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got him from Triple H.
Ospreay's already penciled in for All In.
Yeah, champion. That's when he's winning it, and then he gonna do his run, which is crazy to me because it's like Swerve just showed you why he should be champion. Like it's super. I don't want to curse too much, but it's super messed up, man. Like it's like if you're Swerve, if you're Andrade, if you're Malachi Black, do you consider leaving when your contract's up? I definitely think so if Triple H is in charge. Yeah. Maybe even Adam Cole. If Triple H is in charge. But let me ask you now. So let's get back to something. Gunther, how'd you feel about that match? And who do you think dethrones him?
Jey Uso.
Because with Punk coming back, I think that messes up the whole Gunther Seth WrestleMania.
A lot of people do.
It's Punk. It's Punk Seth WrestleMania for sure.
Punk Seth definitely. But yeah, I think Jey Uso.
Oh, I like that.
And then Gunther's kind of waiting in the wing. He'll have a.
He waiting for at a moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll have a solid WrestleMania match. But
Brock Gunther, you think they give him Brock?
Oh, that would be great. That's the preparation for the next level.
Exactly. Literally, Cody went through it. Now Gunther, you got to go through it to be ready for when you challenge either Cody or
and you got to get him
Seth or Punk.
You got to get Gunther in front of bigger fans.
Got to get his mouthpiece ready because he gonna have to carry that feud because Brock's not gonna do much talking.
Well, I'm just thinking mainstream, right? You got to get more people recognizing who he is.
True.
So there's that. But I think Jey Uso, the match for me it was what it was. Gunther, I think somebody said he just showed like he can win a match in any way when he's ready for it to end. And
when do you think the Jey Uso thing happens? Because at WrestleMania, I think it's Jimmy J, like you said, night
one.
That's
the thing. I think that's for the IC title.
Oh, so okay, but no, that's my question. When do you think the Jey Gunther takedown happens? Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble?
Oh, Elimination Chamber could be another one because you can get by without. See, they're gonna have.
You could build it up at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I was thinking they're gonna definitely probably put the world title in their chamber match. So, man, it's tough. But yeah, I think it happens at Royal Rumble though.
Okay, got you, 100%. Now let's get to the main one, the main men's match. I thought it was great. Judgment Day. I don't know what you do with now. Like I said. I think the Randy Cody feud started in that moment when Cody raised his hand. And because I tweeted the picture, you can look at it. Randy gave him an eye. And Triple H is very important about facial expressions because he did the Jey Uso before with Randy. And Randy and Jay had that conversation at Raw this past week. But I think the eyes he gave Cody was like, oh, you the little brother. I'm the big brother. I lift your hand. But I think he's going to put it as, I'm going to brush that to the side. But then I think Cody's going to do something else that pisses Randy off. And then it's going to continue and Randy's going to turn heel on him.
Yeah, I think with the Judgment Day, I think the end is brewing.
Yeah, it feels like it's here.
If anything, Damian Priest is he's going to hold the briefcase a little bit longer.
It feels that way.
Yeah, he's going to hold a little bit longer, especially with Punk there. But he's got till Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they lose the tag title soon, maybe to the Creed brothers. But maybe.
I wanted them to lose to the Hurt Profits.
Me too.
Or street business.
Nah, I like that name.
The Hurt Profits? Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what happens there. You know, I think, but either it's going to crumble, and I think Finn is due for another maybe mega babyface run.
Ooh, okay. Okay, and then you have Rhea and Dom do their thing, continue on. Or do you split Rhea and Dom up too?
No, it's too much money in that.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Does JD McDonough go with them? And JD's like her other little flat lackey? Or do you see JD
he's
going to be
Finn? Yeah, he's going to be with Finn.
Okay, gotcha. So Finn and JD go their own way. Now, let me ask you, is it possible
I still think Priest and Dominic and Rhea stay together.
Oh, see, I was going to ask you, is it possible that when JD McDonough gave Dominic the purple briefcase, that him and Finn took the real contract out, kept it in the green, and gave him a fake contract?
Oh,
that was always my how you break them up is Damian goes babyface because they betrayed him, and Finn gets the real Money in the Bank contract.
That could work too. That would be hilarious.
Like, because they keep showing that green briefcase. Why they keep showing that? And they keep mentioning that. They've been mentioning that all year since it happened. And I'm like, you're not going to keep showing that unless there's something there. Yeah. And they made a big deal about it. So let me ask you another thing. So we talked Jey Uso, we talked Cody. What do you think's there for Randy right now?
Well, he said he's coming after the Bloodline. He will be on SmackDown in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that's Roman's opponent for right now?
That could be his Rumble opponent.
And let me say this. It makes sense for the Cody story because Randy couldn't get it done. Now, Cody thinks if Cody does get it done, or if Cody's about to get it done, to your point, Randy RKOs him and lets Roman continues. He's like, you're not going to be the one to beat him. I am. And it's like whether Cody wins or loses, it still perpetuates that beef if Randy's going after Roman.
Yeah. There you go.
That's why I wanted to talk to you.
But yeah, I definitely think Randy is the one penciling in. I think Randy and Roman at Tampa Bay at the Rumble.
I like that a lot. So we're in agreement that it's Seth Punk. Is there anything else you can see Punk doing? Is it Punk Cena maybe?
No, I think that time is past. They're not gonna have better matches than what they had before.
Gotcha.
But I think you might get a few with. He might beef with maybe Drew. I don't want to say Drew. Maybe Drew McIntyre.
That could be the opener feud because Drew was another one who was upset, quote unquote, when Punk showed up because Drew stormed
he said,
out.
He said, he was upset because they lost. Which either way, I think that's where you do it. You go from there
for sure.
I don't think you see Punk wrestle on Raw no time soon.
100%. Hell yeah. So so we set up our thoughts of what's to come in WWE really quickly. Let me ask you, AEW wise, how you feeling about things over there? This will be the final thing we discussed.
Christian Cage
with Adam Copeland. Yeah, look, he the best person. Him and Swerve are the best right now to me at AEW. Yeah. I think Swerve needs a belt and Christian needs the championship. Yeah, and that's what him and Edge fight for.
Yeah, Swerve be the the long term. Christian can be a quick hitter. Put the title on. He's the most important thing on TV. And next week in December, I think it's December
Montreal.
6th,
yeah.
Montreal. At first I was like, okay, but I watched the promo. I said, oh, okay,
yeah, Edge cooked him. I'm still calling him Edge, man. I'm sorry.
I just think my son said this, and I was like, wow. He's like, I'm not watching him in AEW. I want to see that feud in WWE. I was like, I ain't put those words in his mouth.
He said that himself. 14. Yeah, he thought that for himself. That's wild. But hey, some fans do feel that way. I'm gonna watch and see what's up. But
Me too.
He makes a good point because it might not cook as hard,
Mm-hmm.
or it might be too much of a bloody spot fest. Some people might not like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're gonna get, but thank you so much, B, for coming on. Tell the people they can follow you on social media, and we will have you on again soon enough. Probably. What's the next WWE pay-per-view?
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so when we get close to the Rumble, we'll probably bring you back
Yeah.
on around then.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me as always. Mondays and Thursdays, I produce the Masked Man Show on the Ring of Wrestling Network. And Wednesdays, I produce and host the Wednesday Worldwide Show. The end of the month, the end of December before Christmas, I'm gonna have a new article dropping. Just got it cleared. It's gonna be called the Pro Wrestling Mixtape.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 10 matches, do a WWE mixtape, 10 WWE PLE matches you should go back and rewatch while you get your holiday gifts wrapped up and cleaning the house. You throw
Is it from this year or all time?
All from this year. Like
Hell
just going
yeah.
back, all the, those, I wrote a list and reason why you should watch those matches. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, catch me on TWG Fan Club. This week, we are talking the unpopular opinions about CM Punk.
Ooh, okay.
Make sure y'all tune in. So this week is unpopular opinions about CM Punk, and this is going to be exclusive. First heard it right here. Next week, we are going to have an Edge and Christian appreciation night on the same night.
Yes,
that
sir.
They will go head to head.
I'm going to be tuning into both of those.
I appreciate it. And then also let me make sure, because I just got word the production. All right, tomorrow, the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, we're gonna talk about the big returns: CM Punk, Randy Orton, and R-Truth.
Oh yeah.
WWE, we the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday, 9:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific. So make sure y'all tune in.
Hell yeah. For those that were wondering why I didn't ask about R-Truth, go check out Brian's thoughts on the wrestling room. Thank you so much, B Waters, as always. I appreciate you, brother. And with that, let me send it back to myself and Pete to finish up this episode of the Work Shoot Show. We want to say thank you to our guy, Brian H. Waters, for coming on the show. Love every time he comes on. But Pete, let's talk about it. Randy Orton back, CM Punk back, Triple H's booking. Look, the women's War Games match, I said it with Brian H. Waters, that might have been my favorite match of the night. Io Sky killed and Bailey killed.
The result was wrong.
Oh yeah, I agree. Damage Control should have won.
Damage Control, they're clowns, like, and not in like the cool Oscar way.
I think they're doing it to break up them. I think they're about to kick Bailey out.
But they're doing that to Judgment Day too. They're doing the same thing to these factions in the women's and men's division.
No, you're right.
It's the same thing. You have to be different, and it's not. I thought the women should have, or the heels should have 1,000,000% should have won. And not only did they lose, they got smoked.
Yeah, they did.
Absolutely smoked.
I'm okay with the men's results because I think Cody and them should have won.
Yep, 100%.
But I think the women should have won. Damage Control should have won on the women's side. But man, Io Sky putting the trash can on her.
That was so cool.
Badass. And then Bailey taking a kick from Kyrie and then getting a finisher from everyone to end up in the table. Bailey worked her ass off.
The in-ring work was perfectly fine. I have no issues with that. I don't like where this is going. I don't like
fair.
The story. Like,
if we're gonna be critical of Tony, we got to be critical of Triple H too.
What's next for the winners? What's next for Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi and Becky? Like, I don't know.
Nothing. Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
They're literally saving Becky for Rhea at WrestleMania, which is like, who's gonna win that? But that's that's a whole nother ball of eggs. What would you give this match? I'm giving it a solid 3.5. 3.6 maybe.
Oh man, I hated the result. Really
go ahead.
did.
Be honest.
I'm gonna give it like a 3.
That's fair.
Like, I don't know. Io's spot was dope, and that really stuck out to me. That's it, man.
That's fair. Hey, I'm not mad at that. The reason why I gave it so high is because of the in-ring work, but the storytelling aspect's fair. I just thought there were so many memorable. Like, I can say spots from a match. If I can say spots from it, that's how I know it was a good match. A match I can't tell you spots from, except the Boston Crab at the end was Gunther and
So
Miz.
funny. Oh, dude. I was watching the Gunther Miz match. I was watching it and I had to go pee so bad. And Gunther got Miz to the crab lock. I'm like, oh, sick. I can go to the bathroom because the match isn't going to end this way. And I have a wireless headset and then I hear that the match is over. I'm like, what the fuck? I missed the ending because I was going pee because I just assumed he wasn't going to win it with a Boston Crab.
He won it with the crab, yeah.
Which is cool.
And it was paying homage to Jericho, which I was shocked they were going to mention Jericho's name.
Yep, because they were listing out Intercontinental Champions. And I don't think they said Jericho the first time around, but the second time around they did.
And that tells me Vince is no longer in control because when Vince came back, they stopped mentioning AEW stuff. Cody mentioned he was VP in the press conference. Triple H is in charge again, baby.
Good. I don't know if Gunther was just scared, but he had a really bad splash against the Miz.
Yeah, he did.
it was awkward. Just like you missed him by this much. Like
this match for me was like a 2-8.
Yeah, it was fine. Just 2-5. Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. All right, the next one. This one, a 2. Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee. It could have been so much better. It was basically a squash. It was like,
yeah, they gave him 8 minutes.
Yeah, that was that was a 2 for me. I didn't like it.
I think they made the best they could do with how much time.
Bad situation, yeah.
But the ending was just like it's over. It's like it was just like that. I'm like, oh come on.
And it's like I know they can do better. I get you have to set Santos up as a heel, but you could have did it a different way.
I think you could have given this 12 minutes, and I think because I think the match was actually really good. It just went by so fast.
Like if you give them 12 minutes, my rating maybe 2's too low. My 2-3 goes up to a 2-9.
Santos had an insane super kick that stuck out to me the most. Where like he hit him, Dragon Lee did like a 270 flip and right out of his face. It was that was crazy. That was a fantastic super kick. I'm gonna give it like because it's like it's not their fault they were only given 8 minutes.
No, you're right.
Because, but I think for the time that they were allowed, like a 2-5.
See, okay, I'm glad I went up. I'm gonna go to 2-4. I'm gonna go up even a little bit more because you're right. It's not their fault. So I'm not gonna take it out on them. And then what? The last one's the men's match.
Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark, which I
actually love this match. I actually love. I thought Zoe won me over.
Zoe won me over at the Royal Rumble. I've been saying it since the Royal Rumble. I'm like, Zoe has the in-ring work.
Yeah, I think this was Rhea's best match since Charlotte. I texted people this. I thought Zoe was the best dance partner she had since Charlotte. I thought it was way better than Raquel. This match is getting a 3 from me because I thought Zoe killed it in the ring.
Also getting a 3 for me. We had it in our Discord. The over-under was 4.5 minutes. I thought this might be a squash, and it wasn't. It wasn't good.
They let him cook.
I hope I don't like Zoe's predator face paint that she wore. Like
she's figuring it out, Pete, slowly.
Get that off. Like you're who you are.
You're a star.
What makes you unique is like I don't know. She doesn't have like the actual like I don't know. She has a distinct look. She has to figure out her promo skills, and then she'll be a champion because in ring she has it. She's one of the best on the main roster. Yeah, like, facts. But 3. And I think her and Rhea will have a rivalry. As soon as she figures it out, I think they will. So I'm giving it a 3. And then the men's. I loved it. You know me. I'm a Cody stan. And then at the end, when Randy went to pull up his hand, then Cody switched it and pulled up Randy's hand. And then I tweeted out the picture of the look Randy gave him. I was like, oh, it's coming. Now, Brian doesn't think Cody wins at WrestleMania, but I think that's too long for Roman. He's a Roman stan, so I get it. But I think Randy and Cody happen the moment Cody wins the championship after 40. They set it up, and I'm excited for it. Solid match. The Randy RKO spot was beautiful. People were saying like this is the best RKO. It wasn't. Ever. I'm like it's fine. Like it was cool. Good. Yeah. Like Evan Bourne was better. Evan Bourne and Seth. Yeah. Like those are iconic because those were like. Those weren't planned. This was, you could see this was telegraphed. Like, but they were like setting it up for like a minute. Like the Evan Bourne was just like shooting star RKO game. They were trying to make sure Randy was safe doing it too. That's what I get it. It's a dangerous spot, and they're playing it with JD McDonagh with the who's the perfect cell man. Yeah. like that. It was a really cool spot. I thought the match itself was really good as well.
I had two spots I love. I want to mention real quick.
Go for
when
it.
all of them did the Randy DDT and they pulled them off the rope. I thought that was good. The heat seeking missile, I think it's called. And then, that might be what MJF calls it, whatever it is. And then the super kick from Seth and Jey Uso when Seth got in his Uso Young Buck bag when Seth and Uso were just super kicking people. I love that shit.
Yep. Yeah. The finisher Royale thing that they did was fun.
That was great with Cody ending it and then Randy giving it to him. It was like, you ended Cody. That was another moment.
I didn't necessarily like it.
I know some people didn't. I liked it as a Cody fan, and I think it's important for the story because Randy was like, "Here, little bro," and then at the end when Cody lifts his hand, he's like, "Wait, I'm not your little bro. You're my little bro." And then the fact that at Raw, Randy's like, "I'm going after the bloodline." I think he loses, and Cody's gonna be like, "Randy, I'm gonna do it for you. I got you." And Randy's gonna be like, "You don't have to do shit for me. I'm Randy fucking Orton."
Okay, I'm intrigued to see where that goes, but this match was solid. Not the best War Games match I've ever seen.
It was good.
Not the worst though. 3.5.
I gave the women's match 3.6. I'm gonna give this one 3.5, right under it, because like I said, I think the women's match in ring wise was the best one. But this 3.5. How'd you feel about Punk? Talk to me about it.
Man, fuck CM Punk, biggest hypocrite in the wrestling business.
My thing is, how after they did your wife dirty, you're going back to him. It's like, how does AJ Lee look at him? Yeah, him too. Yep.
And at the end of Raw, where he's like, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money." I
was like, wow, shots.
You're like, yeah, this is my home. I'm home.
After 2 months ago, you just shit on him. That AEW collision rant on WWE. I was like, wow. You just shit on WWE and you're back, hypocrite ass.
I popped just because I don't think anybody expected
facts.
that. But yeah, I mean,
I don't like it.
If people have listened to the podcast, CM Punk used to be my favorite wrestler of all time, and now I can't stand him, and still can't stand him.
I think that all Punk coming back does is push back Gunther, because I think it was going to be Gunther versus Seth at WrestleMania. And now Gunther's going to probably fight Brock and have to wait a little bit because I think it's CM Punk and Seth at WrestleMania. I think that's a foregone conclusion. So, but yeah, man, that's our thoughts on Survivor Series in full gear. We will do an episode probably next week telling you our thoughts on the wrestling world as a whole. And we'll probably have a good, interesting discussion topic. So be on the lookout for that. But Pete, tell the people they can follow you out on social media.
Yeah, best way to find me is my anime podcast Twitter. It's what you say Annie, what you say ANI on Twitter. You don't have to watch anime, but if you want to support me and throw me a follow, that'd be great.
Hell yeah, y'all make sure y'all go follow Pete, check out his podcast, give him a subscribe on YouTube as well. Also, look, like I said, we're going to be doing this pod a lot more. Something I'm planning on is to stream after certain wrestling shows. I'm not going to say that I'm going to stream after every Raw, not streaming after every spot, but I will start streaming more. And once I set up a time, I will let y'all know. But just know I'm planning on doing a post show for either Raw or for at minimum after live events. So we will figure that out because I got more time on my hand. But just know, if you're a Work Shoot Show fan, we got a lot of good stuff coming for you. But for Pete, my name is Lyndon. Make sure you follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Follow me at LynBLBT to get all the information. We'll talk to you next week. But for Pete, for Brian H. Waters, my name is Lynn. Y'all have a good one, and peace.
Peace.